Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Moose Minute Project on a frigid Tuesday morning, -3 degrees here in southwest Wisconsin. Sun is coming up, but it is very cool. Yes, very cool it is. So, welcome to the Moose Minute Project, titled, Whose Fault Is It? Well, last night, the Vikings joined the Packers and the Bears. They'll all be teeing off probably in southern Florida or Arizona or Mexico or something here in the next few days. I'm sure they're going to head somewhere warm for a while now that they're done playing football. And of course, you hear, oh, the refs blew this, the refs fined there, should be fined, whatever. Except for the Bears, they don't have that because they didn't have to play. But I have always been told that you cannot leave a game up to the officials. That's been through high school, been through college, been to wherever it may be. You cannot leave a game up to the officials. Kind of like you can't leave your life up to other people that judge you or blame law enforcement for your bad habits or whatever it may be. You just can't do it. I watched part of the Viking game last night, and hey, Darnold did it before so many times, and everybody was like, oh, whoa, whoa. And yeah, there was a couple probably missed calls that I didn't personally see because I didn't watch the whole game. There were missed calls at the Packer game. But because it's the Packers, it's a different thing. Minnesota, Vikings fans think that we whine a lot. Packer fans think whatever. I have friends and family on both sides of that ball. You cannot leave a game up to the officials because it is going to bite you in the butt. Watching Sam Darnold last night, throwing balls in the dirt, throwing balls over people's heads, let's face it, the guy was being chased around and run around and everywhere else. I think Jones tweaked his knee the way it looked again. But you just can't. And then to complain about the officiating and how things should be done is quite ridiculous. Yeah, it might have been bad, but your team was terrible. They got outplayed. They didn't come to play the way it looked. Los Angeles looked amped up, ready to go, and yeah, you can say they're fighting for the natural disasters that are going on, and maybe they are. But you have to meet the intensity of your opponent. That's why I like bowling. I had this discussion the other night with somebody at League. My average is probably 10 pins higher when I know I am facing the really good bowlers in the league individually. I amp my game up. And it's not right. I should amp my game up no matter who I'm bowling against. But I always amp up my game when I'm bowling the tougher opponents. That's why I like scratch tournaments when I go to other towns, because I amp my performance up. To me, pro athletes, you can say all you want, they are getting paid so much money that there's no, if we make a playoff, great. And yeah, you can tell me that, Chris, they really want to win. I watched Buffalo the other day. That team is going to be dangerous. That team is unreal right now. And they're amped up. They're ready to go. There's no per se drama going around them. Minnesota now has J.J. McCarthy sitting there. He was the number one, and we'll see what he can do. He'll be fresh, just like Jordan Love was. Now Jordan Love will be entering his third year. The Packers were the youngest team in the NFL, going on 2 straight years. We'll see what that growth is and what it does. But again, the Packers did not come on amped up, ready to play, to take on anybody. It didn't seem. But my point is that you cannot leave a game up to the officials. And to sit here and complain that the officials cost your job or cost your win, nah. If 2 calls in a 60-minute football game or 3 caused that, it's pretty rough. It's a pretty rough spot to say or speak of. I don't feel it's true. Again, I would like to see way more performance pay based on outcomes. So you're going to make X. If you make the playoffs, you'll get a little bit more. If you do this, if you win the Super, whatever it may be, guaranteeing millions and millions of dollars. Whether they get, throw 13 interceptions in 16 weeks or whatever, that, if they rush for only 800 yards in the seat, whatever it may be, these guys are getting a lot of money to perform. And I don't see it happening. I don't see where anybody is worth the amount of money that they are getting paid. And then the guaranteed money on top of, we're just going to give you this because I think it'll be better. Head coaches got a lot of work to do to control. Look at all the players that have the ego problems this year and look at NBA and all of them now that, I don't want to play here anymore. I want to go somewhere. I want to do this. I don't like it here. Tough shit. You have a contract. Play. If you're not going to play, we're not going to trade you and have it in their closet that you don't pay them. How about that? If I show up at work and I just decide to not work and say I don't like it here, I can guarantee you what's going to happen. I won't be here. So, I think we pay way too much for overrated crybabies. I think we pay way too much for athletes that like to complain and everything else, and it's a popularity contest now versus true sportsmanship, true competitive of being what you are or who you want to be. That's my input. It's kind of like the Hall of Fame. There's people that should be in the Hall of Fame that aren't. From, I look at my family side, Gail Gillingham from the Packers. From what I've been told, he's not in because he did not meet the public work portion of it or whatever it may be. And that there's already too many Packers from that team or that era in the Hall of Fame already. Doesn't matter. If he's got numbers and he's got the things to support it, he should be in the Hall of Fame. I feel that there are people that are definitely, Jordy's going in, good for him. He should be. He was a hell of a wide receiver. But that's where I'm at. I'm just tired of all the big money being spent to hear a bunch of whiny crybabies that they don't want to play or they don't want to be there. And then also from the fans of, the refs cost us this or the ref cost. No, they didn't. Your team sucked. They played terrible. It was down to that, period. They did not come to prove dominance whatsoever. So, there I have it. I talked about the transfer portal and everything yesterday. It's pretty sad. It's an ugly, ugly, ugly scenario on all part, because all we're doing is developing more and more crybaby behavior of people that think they are worth way more than they are. So, let's go back to a performance-based, almost a commission, like when you're in sales. That's the kind of pay you're going to get. You're going to get, $10,000 for a touchdown, whatever it may be. I think that would be a good way to do it. Instead of giving somebody $55 million, how about we divide it in yards and take away money for interceptions, you know, something like that. Performance-based pay. I think that would be good. I think that'd be fun, you know, and then have everybody sitting around at the round table at the end of the year, and here's what you were supposed to get, but you threw this many interceptions, and you only threw this many yards, so minus, and now here's your real check. Because too many crybabies in the sport. Too many crybabies in life in general, too. If you think life's hard, it can always be harder. You know, I was stuck on my stroke for a long time, but it could have been way worse. Yes, when I tie fishing lures on and I poke my hands 6 or 7 times because I can't quite feel them and all that, I have to remember that I can at least still use it. And, yep, I can still tie lures and do what I want to do. I can still go fishing with buddies. I can still go bowling. I can do all of that. So we have to look at the positive side a lot more than what the negative side is in our lives. Because I think sometimes there's always going to be challenges in life. That's just pure and simple. So, take time to bless somebody today. That's my discussion today. 2 nights in a row now, the dogs have both, one in each, have puked in the middle of the night. I thought I was over that feeling of when you were raising kids and you'd hear a kid puke, it automatically made you, now it's the same with dogs, and it's just not good. It doesn't help with the sleep. It makes you, yuck. And with a dog, you can't get them to puke in a bucket. They won't do that. So, I'm a little tired today. It was a long night. But it's definitely cold. It's killing many diseases in this deep freeze that we are in. So, one other announcement too, and this will end it today for the Moose Minute Project, but Storm Bowling Products contacted me personally yesterday. They are donating a ball for the raffle for the 2nd annual Marcy Strikeout Alzheimer's for November 8th of this year, 2025. So we'll be sending it later on in the year. They are, of course, in their busy time right now, heading into the PWA and then the PBA. So we will have a bowling ball from Storm for the ball raffle. So thank you, Storm Products. I throw a Storm bowling ball, so it's pretty cool. Had a bunch of turn downs, which I get it. People, I don't get how the answers that they have already met their fulfillments, but it is what it is. I just don't take no very well for an answer, so I resend it to different directions. And that's where I'm at. Have a great day, guys. Thanks for tuning in. And again, don't leave it up to officials. Kick them out of the ballpark, beat them up, whatever you got to do. But you got to take control of it at some point, and you can't leave games up to the officials. Have a great day. And as always, take time to bless somebody today. And I will be back tomorrow morning with another edition of the Moose Minute Project.